Good morning, Vietnam, YouTube. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hey, Fairy Dust, how you doing? Brick with eyes. What's yellow peeps? Yellow peeps. Is that about jaundice? Do we have a jaundice for all emoji called yellow peeps? What? Oh my God. Y'all, I was walking the dog this morning and I was trying to explain this shit show to my husband. He's out watering the grass like. Says the same thing he always says. Honey, they're fucking nuts. That's what he says. I'm doing my best I want to interview my husband as a person with a terminal degree. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that terminology, although if you're on this channel, you probably are. This is, maybe for some of Betty's peeps. A terminal degree, well, that would be a PhD. It's called a terminal degree because that's the end of the road, folks. You can't get any more. Oh, goodness. So how's everybody doing today? Oh, I brought something in for show and tell. Hey, it's me, Amberly. How you doing? Kane Mash, how are you? PPA? I'm still trying to get caffeinated all the way, you guys. Good Lord. I brought something for show and tell before we get rolling here. Tomorrow is oh my goodness. Tomorrow I'm getting my roots zipped. We're in the home stretch, kids. As all you lovely ladies who color your hair know, first of all, the summertime for me, I don't know what it is. My roots seem to come in faster in the summertime. Unfortunately, that's a double-edged sword. At least they're not, I think my natural color is some form of brunette. I haven't seen it in decades, so I can't tell you, but I am mostly gray. So at least when the roots come in, they're not like a black zipper. And for anyone who is maybe just turning gray, like a lot of gray, and you're thinking of coloring your hair and want the least, well, I'm not saying this very artfully, blonde. To me, blonde is the easiest camouflage for gray. But now I'm going to show you one of my favorite products. I keep saying I'm going to do Lisa's favorite things, and I promise I am. I'm actually working on a few lists at the moment. Y'all know Lisa loves a list. But I actually used this product this morning, and I'm a big fan of the brand IGK. You might not know the name IGK as much as you would recognize their packaging is always epic, and they come up with the best names for all their products. And I'm very fortunate. I have a girlfriend who's got a cosmetology license and lets me use it to go to the beauty supply anytime I want. So when I go, which is not very often, but when I do go, I stock up on IGK. And this is one of my favorite products. Now, when I show you this, you're going to go, bitch, what? You just said you're waiting to get your hair done. Like, what? Why would you need this? I think there's plenty of women who will know what I'm talking about here. I know for at least my hair and the texture and the kind of hair I have, which is, natural blonde, it typically looks best. Well, let me tell you what it looks its worst to me. I do not enjoy freshly washed hair. I like hair with more like texture and a little bit of oomph. Well, if you want to achieve that with a little help, speed the process along. And here's another helpful hint from me to you. And I promise you, it is the truth. And it works. The less you wash your hair, the better it is for your hair. Shampoo strips out. I mean, obviously you have to shampoo your hair sometimes, but unless you've got exceptionally oily hair and that's the only way to control it, the less you wash it, the healthier it will be. And I'm not going to tell you how often my hair is washed because you probably wouldn't believe me. IGK Down and Out Dirty Spray Vaporizer Grunge. Oh, okay. I thought it had a little roller ball in there. This comes out in a cloud of, when I say aerosol, don't think hairspray aerosol. Think like fog aerosol. But it works. And I think it says, okay, spray onto roots and work up through mid-length. I spray this shit all over. I put it in my hair this morning before I did the video and before I came in here. And it just gives it that like, oh, Amberley. Longer. I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell because, oh God, there'd be no end to that. Put it this way. My hairdresser, who has been a hairdresser for about 40 years, she still like tells me all the time, I've never seen anybody that can do what you can do with the hair. And it's, well, let's just say this, y'all have seen my hair for a long time. And it may not look its best like now, but I don't think anybody's ever looked at me like, oh, I don't know, maybe they look at Betty and say, damn girl, I could do something to that friggin' mop on your head. So anyway, so there you go, IGK. I can't vouch for, actually I used to use their lavender shampoo. I forget what it was called. Hey Sue, how you doing? But anyway, so that was just a little fun. Just a little fun show and tell. And I am working on a list. And, goodness, I was just thinking these gross dirtbag tragedy pimps like Betty and company, boy, they need a lot of shit. Like they need help. There are things, I think there's things I could suggest to them that, just to help make their life a little more pleasant. Because look, I'm finally at the point now where, hi Mike, you're back. Hey next to Red. I'm finally at the point where I'm really trying to take my husband's words to heart, which are, they're fucking nuts. Honey, there's a lot of absolutely stupid nut jobs in this world, and they all manage to find each other at some point. Because see, where I go wrong is trying to apply my moral compass, my logic, my thoughts, which, I mean, come on, I'm nothing special. On here, we just have a very weird, skewed situation going on, which that's another thing we all need to bear in mind as well, which is another thing my husband is constantly reminding me. Thank you, honey. Smartest man I know. That's why he married me. And that is, this is just such a teeny weeny little speck of YouTube. Of course, to us, because this is where we, for whatever reason, have landed. And this is not, I don't know, I hope to God it's not representative of society at large, because if it is, that's what scares me, is I look at these people, because here's the motto on here. This is what I've come to realize is how these people operate. Because let's face it, I think if you didn't have this attitude towards all this, you could not continue on here. If they were normal thinking people that are not pure white trash, number one, they would be so embarrassed so many episodes ago, let's just say. I mean, I always say it takes a special kind of dumbass to not be, I don't know. I guess if your natural tendency is to be a liar, to be a cheater, to be a thief, to be a scumbag, that's just, if that is your natural go-to, you don't have either enough sense or pride or both. Who knows? I'm sure there's some other things we could sprinkle in there. They do not have what the rest of us have. Like, I sit back and I watch these people who are cold ass busted again and again and again. They are exposed for exactly who they are, and people still keep watching and supporting them. And it truly does. It makes me lose faith in society at large. I mean, we see already tragically, like on a weekly basis, it seems, we see the breakdown of society. We see people going out and shooting up public places. For what? You never get an answer to that question. There's never going to be an answer to that question. And I'm not comparing these idiots to those evil bastards, but people behave in society for one of only a few reasons. Either because you're civilized and you understand that while the law may be annoying or you may not agree with it or whatever the case may be that as it may, for a civil society to exist, well, there has to be some type of minimum acceptable standards. or you're somebody who, much like a lot of these people we talk about, who they themselves have lengthy involvement with law enforcement over decades. I mean, to me, it's more notable when they can go a stretch without having law enforcement involvement. And to me, mic drop, full stop. If you are someone who has had decades of law enforcement involvement for everything under the sun, alcohol, drugs, violence, fraud, you name it, they've had it. You know, obviously, different ones you can assign different crimes to. So it's incredibly baffling to me because if you're a normal person and you believe in the good old-fashioned way of life, that hard work is what makes you succeed. I mean, obviously, among other things, and good prevails over bad, blah, blah, blah. So it's it's why I compared Betty to a cockroach yesterday. And what's really interesting to me is the Turtle King over there. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, woo, I love my irony. Nothing like a guy who looks like he's never met a bar of soap that is apparently building a soap empire. I think it should be hashtag soap scum. Oh, now there's a hashtag. 2023 soap scum. Oh, a little apropos, I think. Hi, Liza. Hi, hippie. So to see people who are caught again and again and again and again, lying, you name it, all the things that they get exposed for. What is the one thing that you never see any of these dirtbags do? Act like an adult, number one. Let me tell you what I'd have done had I been Betty. Of course, I could never be Betty for any number of reasons. And where my frustration comes in is I can come on here every day. I can drag that bitch for filth. Trust me when I tell you, I can come up with all kinds of words that she's never heard of and would have no clue what they mean. You are talking about somebody who is so fucking stupid. She thought there was a country or a state or blah, blah, you name it, whatever municipality you want to make it, called La-Tivia. How about La-Tivia? Are you fucking kidding me? She is dumb as fucking wood, okay? She's dumb as wood. Yes, brick with eyes. You are absolutely correct. So here were I Betty, which I think we've already established. I'm not, never will be, never have been. Well, if I had 1 ounce of self-respect or pride, or more importantly, if I gave a rat's ass about any of the people who are sub to me and who sit in my chat every day, who are, listen, and I have issues with this too, because I know that I make some very broad generalizations when it comes to the people that hang over there. But that's because, and I'm not saying that I should do that. And I am going to try to not assume, as difficult as this is going to be for me, I'm going to try and assume that not everyone over there is as dim-witted as, in my opinion, just the fact that you're there denotes that. Because I cannot be, I can't get anything out of someone who is a poser. That's all she is. She is a poser. She goes and listens to real lawyers occasionally, I would imagine. She reads articles. I was going to say news articles, but I don't even know if she goes to real news sources. She goes to Reddit threads. The Daily Mail, I'm sorry, the Daily Mail, that's, that's fun for gossip and whatnot, but I don't get my my hard-hitting news, especially in light of the fact that that is not a media publication that is in this country. There is that. But I do think that she, at least the reason I said she was like a cockroach is because it's real hard to put. You can't shame someone who has no pride. How do you shame someone who isn't shamed by the things that normal people would like? They'd blow their channel up. So it is so frustrating to see that the name of the game here is, it really doesn't matter. That's the name of the game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you lie. It doesn't matter how much you cheat. It doesn't matter how much you steal. It doesn't matter how much of a poser you are. None of that matters. And proof, evidence, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It seems like the more wretched you are, the better off you do. Well, enjoy that. And all good things come to an end. But when you've got idiots like Betty getting the FBI involved, I mean, and truly, that'll go nowhere. That will go absolutely nowhere. And hey, prove me wrong. If it does, I'll apologize. How about that? So, brick with eyes. That's insulting to wood. I agree. But I just cannot fathom or understand in any way the mindset, this like, I mean, I don't know, is it mental illness? Is that what it is? Is it mental illness that makes someone absolutely never, how can you call yourself an adult? Betty, I got news for you. You are, number one, you're a joke. We've already established that. It's been established a million times. It's for any of us that are, thinking people, we saw you coming 100 miles back. But we're not the ones who need to be convinced. What exactly will it take for these scumbag white trash losers, which is what they are, what is it going to take for people to wake up and say, wow, all this time. This is why I say that, to me, they've got to be on the same mental level that she is. Because you have no business calling yourself an adult if you are absolutely incapable of acknowledging any wrongdoing. And when you are caught red-handed, to just either double down, or you either double down, or you just carry on about your merry way like nothing's ever happened, like every channel in YouTube isn't dragging your ass up and down the street. Like, I just don't, I don't know, I don't get it. I'll never get it. Just like Dolly. Dude. I mean, he's a little different than Betty, at least in my mind, because he can be self-deprecating. Do you ever notice that? You ever notice that Betty never, like, I think she is about, if I had to guess, and I'm not kidding here, my guess at her intellectual, all of it combined, her hey, Carla, how are you? Her maturity level and her intellect level, I mean, to me, at best, 9th or 10th grade, if I'm combining both. If we're talking just her emotional maturity, she's middle school. She's about 12 years old. And if that has not changed by this point in her life, after her all her law enforcement interaction, all her civil history, I mean, hey, Cheesy Weezy. I don't know. It's baffling to me. I don't understand what it is that she offers. What is it? I mean, I understand the way she got here, because, I mean, for God's sake, she's not ever gotten any place because of her gorgeous appearance. Hell no. She looks like a fucking troll doll. No, actually, she's more like a garbage pail kid. Troll dolls are cute. It's not for her sparkling wit and personality. No. It damn sure is not for her intellect. I mean, I can ramble off a list of words that she doesn't know, can't pronounce, and has no clue what they mean. And they're not like crazy arcane words. So what is it? I mean, I know we all like to watch the sideshow at the circus, the freaks. Everybody, will take a passing glance when you go by an accident. But that doesn't explain the growth and the staying power. That is what is not explained by that, which all I can fall back to then is exactly what my husband tells me. Honey, there are a lot of really dumb, trash, stupid people on the internet and in the world. And they all, like, they find each other. And when I break it all the way down, that is the only thing that can explain it. Because she has no accomplishments, none, except an impressive civil and criminal docket record. I don't believe her claims about her college education. Prove it. And even if she does, anything can be faked. We know that. She can call herself a unicorn and paint herself the colors of a pastel rainbow and roll herself in glitter. But that doesn't make her a unicorn. Oh my God, Andre M. I totally love that. Holy shit. That's it. What has taken me 31 minutes to not articulate very well is summed up perfectly in this comment. It's the fact she is a strong personality who speaks nonsense with authority. Weak people follow that. Well, goddamn, I should be ruling the world. Except I don't speak nonsense. Wow. Well, I like mic drop. There's nothing I can add to that. That is absolutely, that's a fact. And that is brilliant. Betty has personality fractures. There's no medication in the planet that can fix her. In that person's opinion, that's a comment. I agree. She is dangerously angry. I also agree with that. I'm of the personal opinion. I think she's dangerous, and I think she's evil. I really do. Do I think she's evil to a level where she's going to become the people that we talk about? I'm not going to go that far. But we all know she's devious as hell. Thank God she is not smarter than she is, because if she was, she'd be a lot more problematic than she is. But she has uncontrollable anger. I mean, that's obvious. Hi, Brad Neely. Yes, she does not want to change. She's convinced herself everyone else is wrong, which points to why I say her maturity level and her, what do they call it? Emotional intelligence is that of your average middle school girl. Carla, girl, you are preaching to the choir. I don't get it. Oh, Betty needs anger management emergency clinic. Is there such a thing? And listen, here's the universe always has a way of righting itself. I truly believe that. I do. Do I believe in karma? I do. Now, that being said, what I know about karma is that karma comes whenever she feels like it. And as I heard someone else say, much like the brilliant comment that Andre M. made, the brilliant 2-sentence assessment that I've never heard a better picture painted of Betty than that. But in that vein, another sentiment that I heard, and God, it was here on YouTube. I can't tell you where I heard it, but when I heard it, I've used it, and I unfortunately always have to say it's not my brilliance, but I wish it was. Karma, I do know that, in my opinion, karma is very much a thing. I also very much know that karma does not come necessarily when we want it to. It doesn't come on our timeline. And to take that a step further, I dare say, I promise you, karma happens to people that we've crossed paths with. Maybe the people we want to see get karma. I firmly believe everybody does. We just typically are not privy to it for whatever reason, because they've moved on out of our life, and we're no longer have any involvement in one another's lives for whatever reason. But I do believe karma does not knock. She kicks your door off the fucking hinges. That's what I heard somewhere here on YouTube about karma. So I can tell you this. I know personally, I know that things that have happened to me in my life, I for the most part, I think anytime I've had something, not anytime, but oftentimes any kind of, maybe something negative that's happened, a bad experience, well, I can certainly say that most of that was probably brought about by my own actions. It wasn't karma speaking. But I also believe there have been times in life when, bad things happen to all of us at times, and we don't know why sometimes terrible things happen. And who's to say that that is not the result of, it's just the karma merry-go-round just lands on you. So I have to trust that she's, well, look, I mean, if we want to really get down to brass tacks, I would say that her shitty, miserable, suck-ass life is very much her karma. She's already getting it. Look at her. What, I mean, I've heard her say out of her own mouth that she's lonely. Bitch, you will always be lonely because you're hateful and you're miserable. Oh yeah, and you're ugly too. No man in his right mind. Listen, you're like Betty, you're just like a Walmart chick. That's what you are. There is nothing special about you. There's nothing standout about you. You're just a basic bitch on every level. You're Walmart. You are Walmart. I can go into any Walmart in any state in this country, and I can find a whole bunch of Bettys rolling around. That's her. So what makes you think you will ever have any meaningful connection or relationship in your life while you're acting the way you are? I personally do not believe, I'm with Amberly, I don't believe that there's any fixing her. I think that if she had a really strong desire to change some of her worst traits, I mean, I think anybody can change, with the caveat that there has to be a really strong desire to do so. And if you have that really strong desire, there is help out there. There's therapy, there's medications, there's support groups. Well, God knows there's self-help books. Shit, the one she's reading is out of date at this point. I mean, God almighty. I bet you they don't even talk about in that book Like if she was reading a current book from, I don't know, this decade, well, there would probably be like online resources in there. I mean, she's SoFlo Mama. Hello, how are you? And you're exactly right. No one wants to be around someone delusional, arrogant, with no emotional intelligence. Exactly. And bitch, you don't even have any hopes of getting laid if you don't, like, what was that you called Dolly's ex? I'm not going to repeat it because it was, I don't talk like you. Like, I don't speak of another woman in those terms. But yeah, she's just a basic bitch who has no accomplishments and is angry as hell, spiteful, mean, confrontational, delusional. Of course, that's all in my opinion. But I just keep wondering if, like, what would it take for one of these dirtbags to ever, and I'm sure this is rhetorical and I can answer my own question. I was going to say, what exactly would have to happen for just one of these assholes to cop to their shitty behavior? And the fact that they've been cold busted, like Dolly is still over there selling this fantasy that he makes the cotton candy soap. And just like Betty. But of course, he can't, he's so jealous of Queen Bee, he cannot stand it. He can't stand it. So he can't just ignore anything that comes from that side of the neighborhood. So he keeps, making these replies and reactions to just what are the very basic facts that are being presented over there. And much like Betty, instead of focusing on the one thing that everyone knows is the allegation and what it's about, there was exactly no one over there who said, Dolly doesn't make one bar of that soap. He buys every single bar from Adam's Wholesale Soap. Nobody said that. What they said was, he is not making that cotton candy soap. And interestingly enough, I believe there's at least 4 or 5 other scents that have the exact same names. And coincidentally, even the swirl patterns in the cotton candy soap looks just like Adam's. And as he drops one of the bars of soap that he's holding up and accidentally picks up the wrong mold that he's trying to show as, look, I do make them. I watch all this and I say to myself, is it like, what has happened to all these people? Have they been dropped on their heads when they were kids? What is it? Like, why is it completely out of the realm of expectation that, let's just stay with the soap thing. Why not just, and I have actually, in so much as Soapgate, I did make a video and I said, I completely understand. I'm not even all wound up about the price. Is it a giant markup? Yes, it is. But that is capitalism. Buy low, sell high. where my problem comes in, and where everybody else that's discussing it, where their problem is coming in, is the fact that, forget it, let's just set the price aside. It's the fact that you are representing to your subs that you are making that with your own two little turtle hands. And that is why people are willing to pay pretty much whatever you ask for it. So to further, and here's the thing, Dolly, do you really think that little of your subs? Because from where I'm sitting, if I'm you, which no, never gonna happen, but if I was him, I'm coming and I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down in my mobile command center, Turtle Wax Central, turtle on the half shell. You know. You know what? I actually have a gopher turtle that lives on my property. Oh, should I name it Dolly? No, that turtle didn't do anything to me. I don't need to call it Dolly. It's already doomed to a life of living in a dirt hole. I mean, well, you know. It seems to me that what would really what would really shine that turtle shell up a lot, you know, like, what is that they say, polishing a turd? Yeah, my goodness, I just think of not only his own people, but other people. If he came in and he just sat down in his cool gamer chair and just smoked his blunt. Oh, which reminds me, Dolly, I've got an idea for you, and you can go ahead and use it. It's my gift to you. Listen, I'm a humanitarian at heart. I like to do charitable work, so I have an idea for you. You know, when in Rome and whatnot, dude. I've already heard people saying it. You're already dropping like ashes and in the soap that you're making with, oh my God, you're making it with your own two hands. You're stirring with those little turtle legs, turtle arms. Oh, thanks, Mike, for the turtle emoji. Why not make like a weed soap? You ever thought of that? That's the flavor you need to come up with. Why not? My God, that's something you know about. You know, I don't exactly. Don't ever make a Fruity Pebbles soap, okay? Because nope, that you're gonna deal with me if you do that. Don't you defile my Fruity Pebbles. I like Captain Crunch, but you know, Fruity Pebbles, draw the line there. But why don't you do like a weed soap? Name it after, I don't know, I don't smoke weed. I mean, I've smoked acres of weed in my life back in the day. Trust me on that. But that's been decades ago. I don't indulge anymore. But why not do that? Why not make like a pot soap? I'm not saying put pot in it, because you probably can't do that. But, I don't know. They say you have secret ingredients. Oh, God, I ain't touching that with a pole. But Dolly, like, the jig is up. Everybody knows, even your own people. Like, the fact that you will not make the cotton candy soap that, oh, guess what? Dolly invented purple. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people that seem to think, I don't know, if you make something that's pink, light pink, and light to medium blue, and you don't know what you're doing, and they, instead of getting those pretty, the marbled effect, well, some people think you get purple. And apparently Dolly is also a graduate of the Lie Till You Die Academy. Mike, most people think that here's my answer to that. Mike's comment says, I saw his soaps in the molds. Yes, we all saw some soaps in some molds, and it's one of two things. It either is that, yes, he absolutely did make those. I don't think anyone has said, no one that's actually informed and understands this whole thing from start to finish, or understands it in as much as you can. I don't think there's anybody who has said he does not make any of the soap. Here's my take, and this is what I say. I think is reasonably, probably somewhat accurate. I think that when Nissa was with him, she made amazing soaps. I have never tried his products. I know he sold a lot of his products. I have heard her say more than once in the past that they were in business together. She made the product and he was the pitch man. And that makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't he be? He's got the gift of gab and he's got the people. And she, being a woman and obviously with some business sense, she made a great product that is, let's face it, I want to say, I think he's 95% female demographic. So I think that when they parted ways, well, the soap recipe went with Nissa. She did say that she gave him all the tools to make said soap, but he doesn't know how to do it. So my guess is he realized that, this is a pain in the ass. It's going to take a lot more time and effort than I want to fuck with. At least to make every flavor, scent, whatever you want to call them. So what most people think is that there are a few that he does in fact make, because they're either, not complicated processes as far as marbling and color. And the molds, he either did in fact make those certain scents and showed them, or the product that he buys from Adams Wholesale, allegedly, that, well, those were just cut and put into the molds. What he is not doing, and what I would do if I was trying to shut down the idea that I was not making this cotton candy. And interestingly enough, his ingredients and the names of his scents are exactly the same as Adams Wholesale. I hold a wholesale license, a sales and use tax. I can buy wholesale. I can sell retail. I remit sales tax to the state of Florida. I understand how this works. He will not make the scent in question, the cotton candy. Well, I mean, why? Why would you not take the opportunity to someone who you clearly cannot stand because you are so jealous? And that's all it is, people, okay? That's all it is. So why not just be an adult and come on, either live or in a video, and just say, listen, I make X, Y, and Z. I do not make this one because it's a long, complicated process and I've got too much going on in my life. So I do buy that from a wholesaler. His people will apparently buy anything at any price. So you've already got them. They are on lock. I mean, why wouldn't you want to, I don't know, maybe clear your name, at least in that respect, to all the other people in the community that are calling bullshit on you? And I don't know who Jeff is, who goes on Queen Bee's panel, but Jeff, I think he said he's a hairdresser, and apparently he also knows about making soap. And he was pointing out several things that only someone who knows how to do it would know. I'm not even going to comment on it because I don't know about cold press and melting pores. Shit, I don't know, nor do I care. I do know a load of bullshit when I hear it, and I do know a flim flam artist. So if you I am curious to know the truth behind why Dolly's soap ingredients is listed in the same order and exactly the same as Adam's soap. Oh, I did hear that. And not only that, but the fair trade stamp is on there, or however it's denoted that it's fair trade. Very interesting. And here's something I keep wondering about, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. Oh, Google is watching. Mike is just trolling, so you don't have to feed him. Oh my goodness. I apologize. I thought I silenced my phone. I keep wanting to know, and maybe there is no requirement. I don't know. But if you are making a product that falls in the category of health and beauty, which, I mean, what else would soap be in than health and beauty? People are using that on their body. I know there's a lady that actually had a very bad reaction to it because she is allergic to, I think she said, coconut oil, which is in that product. I'm wondering how can it be that there are no, I mean, if you sell food products, you have to have health inspections to avoid, illness. You mean to tell me you are making a health and beauty product and there's no licensing requirement to have, like minimum sanitary standards? And I'm sorry, Clorox wipes, most people think those are a prop. I don't know if they are or not, but they're not. A Clorox wipe is not a sufficient cleaning agent. So that's what I keep wondering is, can anybody just make health and beauty products any old place and sell to the public with no oversight? And maybe they very well can. I don't know. I don't sell them. I never have. I wouldn't. And let me just clear something up about the shipping charges here. Because I've heard all different amounts that people say most people seem to think he's very much gouging people on not only the price of the product, but the shipping. Liza, Mike, you know what he's doing. So Interact at your own risk. And if he gets to be too much, just let me know. I personally, I'm not so wound up about the price. I'm really not. Because buyer beware. Something is worth what someone is willing to pay. Do I think he's sleazy? Yes, but not because of that. My God, let me count the ways. I think he's a hustler. But I'm just, that part of it for me, I don't get wound up about the price because those people, like I said, buyer beware. If you are dumb enough to spend the number I hear thrown around quite a bit in multiple places is about just south of $40 all in for 2 bars with shipping. That's kind of what I'm hearing. That's insane. But hey, if someone is willing to pay it, so be it. You don't have to buy soap. I don't buy soap from a guy who lives in a place that doesn't even have blinds or curtains on his windows. He has fucking sheets. I've seen his real life trailer before in some shots that were posted quite a while back. You know, with that horrendous neon green paint. The moldings around the doors, it wasn't even nailed down. Okay, I don't buy soap from a guy who looks like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Okay, I don't buy soap or beauty products from someone who doesn't look like he's ever met a bar. But that's just me. But if I did, that would be my choice to give him. So flow moment. No, I would say the thread count 20. And why is it? Why? Can somebody tell me if you're that guy or that woman who uses sheets to cover your windows? Okay, first of all, there's no excuse. They make the cheapest window blinds. I mean, less than $20 a set. I know because I have a rental house and that's what we put in there. Or if you're just or a curtain panel. Oh my God, a shower curtain for God's sake. Not the plastic kind, but if you just can't do any of that, if you have so little pride in where you live that you're cool with a shitty sheet covering your windows, for God's sake, could you make it match maybe? Does it always have to be a graphic? Couldn't it be a solid just once? Why? Why do we always have to have some weird graphic? That, yeah, it's so threadbare you can see through it. Thread count 9. I read on Dolly's receipt shown by Tonka's channel, quote, use at your own risk, end quote. That says a lot. You're damn right it does. It sounds to me almost like I don't get it. I don't get it. But back to the shipping. I can tell you this. As someone who has spent decades shipping product all over the country and out of the country, the most economical way to ship presently, especially that type of a product, and the simplest, I might add. Now, bear in mind, I am not talking, let's just keep it to, I'm just going to give you a quick primer on shipping. The good old United States Postal Service all you have to do is go to www.usps.com. You can generate a shipping label right from the comfort of your desktop or your laptop or whatever you're using. And guess what? If you don't have a printer to print the label, you can do QR codes. Now, the post office offers flat rate shipping in various size boxes. The very smallest box is about the size of, picture, you see that? It's not quite as wide, so take this down maybe just a couple inches, but it's actually a tad longer. That's the smallest size, and then you go all the way up to an extra large flat rate box. Here's the best part. Dolly, I hope you're taking note. The United States Postal Service will send you free of charge all of the said packaging I just mentioned. They will also send you, well, let me see. I just happen to have, I don't know, a few hundred down here. Hold on a moment. Oh, look at this. What do I have here? Hold on, I just want to make sure I don't show the label. Okay. Well, my goodness, when you look at this, what are those? Those are USPS. These are Tyvek mailers. Those are not flat rate, okay? But, sorry, I'm back. The flat rate, those are actual boxes. And like I said, small to extra large, along with those lovely Tyvek envelopes I just showed you. You can go right on USPS.com and you can order all of the supplies you want free of charge. And they will drop them right at your doorstep. And then here's the best part. Because I don't jack people for shipping. I charge what it actually costs. Some people want to make money on shipping. Like I said, to me, that is all buyer beware. If somebody wants to charge you for shipping almost what the damn product costs and you're willing to pay it, then you're stupid. Or you're lazy, whatever the case is, enjoy. So, I don't ship flat rate anymore at all because it's all boxes, okay? Those Tyvek mailers, those work best for me for what I do. But for what he does, you would want those little boxes. Here's the next wonderful, amazing part. You get the free supplies right at your door from the post office. You print your label right from USPS website. You cut your label and you put it right on that box. Here's the best part. When you are shipping flat rate, whatever you can shove in that box ships for that price. And I want to say the last time I used flat rate, I never used the small boxes. I have used like the medium-sized box, which is about, say maybe that wide and probably that tall. Think like maybe the size of, trying to think, I wish I could think of a good analogy to tell you, like, so you gauge the size. Think like maybe, oh, here's a fabulous book I've never showed you guys. See this book? Oh, it's a Christian Louboutin coffee table book. Oh, I just love this book. This is actually a great book. Oh, look at this. I have to show you this. Front cover of the book. And by the way, this is like pink leather. Watch. Ready? How cute is that? And then it's just got pages and pages and pages of gorgeous shoes in here. But this is about the size of that box. This is perfect, actually. Okay? It's a little thicker, but that's about the, the dimensions. Hold on, I'll put the book back. Damn it. Okay. As much as you can shove in that box ships for a flat rate. And the last time I used one of those boxes that was that size, maybe a year or so ago, I think that one is up to, it's expensive. It's like 12 some odd dollars, but trust me on this. If you do any kind of shipping, or, even if you don't do it on the regular and you just need to ship something here and there, do not use UPS, FedEx. They are so much more money than the post office, and you can insure up to, I forget how much. That's usually a waste of money. I don't typically do that. You can send it with signature confirmation. Of course, that costs extra, but hi, Justin, how are you? So there you have it, okay? The box that he would use, the size is about, I want to say the smallest one, if you were just maybe getting 2 bars of soap. It is less than, I want to say it's about $8. I mean, if it was that important to me, I'd look it up online. You can look it up. So let's dispel with this notion that, the shipping is so expensive because of the weight. Well, yeah, if you're a dumbass and you ship it the wrong way, ship it USPS, priority mail, flat rate. And when I tell you it is as much as you can shove, I think it's up to 50 pounds. 50 pounds is a lot, okay? So there you go. There's my little shipping tutorial. So, here's the thing. You can fool some of the people all of the time. You're never going to fool all of the people, even some of the time. Dolly, Betty, and people of that ilk. People who are not qualified to run a Slurpee machine, but they want you to think that they're qualified and they know better and more than, like, let's say, law enforcement. Yeah. I mean, when are people going to wake up and just ask the very basic questions that, my God, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself if you do not have enough wherewithal to question. Why in the ever-loving hell would Dolly, whose last job was at the 7-Eleven, and I'm not taking anything away from people who work at 7-Eleven. I love 7-Eleven. In my opinion, they have the best donuts, the best glazed donut, and the best blueberry cake. Hands down. Better than Dunkin', better than anywhere. I love me a good 7-Eleven. And the people who work in them are typically really nice people. I'm just saying. They're usually not out thinking that a crime is going to go unsolved or a kid is going to go unfound if they're not on the case. Fucking Scooby-Doo and Velma are more qualified than Dolly and Betty and company. And then you got, old Jonas for all. He and Prayer Garden are BFFs now. You got that stupid bitch, illiterate, that dumbass illiterate bitch sits on her panel night after night after night. leading people to believe or presenting that she's got some kind of like inside track that, you know, maybe law enforcement hasn't thought of. Like, what is wrong with you people? I mean, I don't get it. I cannot ever begin to understand how listen, it is one thing if you think these people are just providing entertainment. Oh, entertain away. Hi, Lakota, how you doing? But I don't understand it. What in the world makes anybody think that these dumbasses, they couldn't find their ass with both hands and a map? But you people seem to think they are, oh, okay, we'll use the first buzzword. They're bringing awareness. Bitch, NBC Nightly News is bringing awareness. Fox is bringing awareness. CNN is bringing awareness. I mean, I don't watch any of them. Not anymore. We have the good old-fashioned print media. You know, we have the Daily Beast. Oh, God, awareness. We got awareness. Awareness is on lock. Okay, so we're scratch that off. Next. They want to, you've got Betty, who thinks she's qualified to give legal analysis. Why? Because you've been arrested a bunch of times? She thinks that there's a place called La-Tivia. And Jamie Lee Curtis is their leader. And the one thing here, I mean, it is fascinating to me that these people will say anything. They will do anything. They do not possess the place that the normal people have, where you're exposed for either a lie or some absurd, ridiculous action. And the one thing they will never do, they literally will debase themselves. They will make fools of themselves. Not just on YouTube, but standing out in front of somebody's house, screaming like a lunatic. But the one thing they will never do is acknowledge any misdoing. No matter how much evidence there is to the contrary. And I'm sorry, that does not indicate to me someone who has both oars in the water. It doesn't. I don't know what it does indicate. I mean, I can guess. Oh, Liza, absolutely. Just imagine the FBI employee who got BHB's complaint yesterday, taking her name and social security number and watching the record that appeared on the screen with the number of pages at the bottom. Yes! Yes! And let's not forget, not just that. Well, first of all, I am calling there is a reason, and we're going to finish listening to it. Don't worry. There is a reason that dirtbag, lowlife bitch, Betty, put that call on mute. Okay. She sure wanted everybody to hear, you know, the FBI phone maze from hell. Here's another thing I'm calling bullshit on, and I haven't even looked. But I'm sorry, this is just normal common sense perspective. I don't believe for 1 minute that just anybody right on off the street can go strolling into the FBI field office and sit their fat ass down in the lobby and wait to just, you know, go full Karen on somebody. She's beyond a Karen. Karen is, that's an insult to Karens. I don't believe that. Why? Well, because they are like, you know, the most elite, at least they used to be, longest arm of the law in this country, where the most serious things are handled. Bitch, do you think anybody believes anything you said? Nobody who's a thinking person believes it, because it's very interesting that she only wanted you to hear the part where the nut job actually called the FBI. I mean, that alone should point to her mental fitness. But boy, she sure didn't want you to hear anything after, you know, the very beginning. She was right there, no problem giving her name, and, you know, and I, of course, I don't expect her to give out her social. But there's a reason she did that. And it has nothing to do with their social security number. And I don't know. I'm not a low-life scumbag who, you know, plays around. I don't play at being law enforcement. I don't play at being a news reporter. By the way, Betty, how come your sister never comes on your channel? I'm just wondering. I mean, my goodness, if I had a sister who was what I pretend to be, I would think she'd love to come on your channel and, I don't know, maybe give a little credibility or legitimacy to your channel. Wonder why she doesn't. Oh, I could make a few guesses. I mean, if I were her, I would never want my colleagues in the real media, or just even people that I know, I wouldn't want them to get a load of my sister and her little fantasy that is her life, we'll just say. So there's that. But I'm never going to believe that. See, because here's what I picture when I hear FBI field office. And I don't even know if there is one in Sarasota, but I'll take her word for it. Okay. We've all been to professional buildings where, and these are typically the kinds of tenants that are in these buildings. They're usually just a nondescript, maybe, I mean, if it's a big one, maybe 4 to 6 stories high, or sometimes they'll be like a very large, like a skyscraper. Maybe there'll be a bank in there, and then like usually sometimes at the top there's professional suites for rent. So I picture, you know, knowing the area, Sarasota somewhat, or Manatee County, I would imagine, I picture like, you know, a 2 to 6 story building, pretty nondescript. Like you come into the lobby, there's probably a fake fern somewhere. There's probably an information desk that may or may not have somebody sitting at it, probably not. Then there'll be like a directory somewhere on like black felt, and they use those little tiny white letters that you push inside the felt. and it'll say like, oh, Lisa and Associates, CPA, suite 123, and so on. Typically, not all of the tenants are identified on the directory. Hi, Amy, how you doing? So you then go to whatever suite it is you're looking for. And when you get off the elevator, it's just a long hallway of nothing but doors on either side of the hallway. Some with numbered plaques, usually about that big. And then, Lisa's accounting. They oftentimes, depending on what kind of business it is, those doors are locked. And you have to push an intercom and you have to tell them who you are. And they have to buzz to unlock the door. So that's kind of how I picture an FBI field office. And I would imagine it probably doesn't have a plaque, or if it does, it's not listed. What I'm getting at is I highly doubt that you are just rolling up to the FBI field office and just, take your fat ass in there and sit on down and take a number, please. Bullshit. I don't believe it. So, and yeah, they're going to see Betty's very impressive resume, we'll just call it. Bitch, they will know everything about you. And let's not forget, she's going to sound like an absolute nut job talking to him, because she's going to be foaming at the mouth. Liza, I'm 53. So I guess Mike says he's Lisa's age, so he's 53. Do you think that after Betty gives her big story and she's going to send all her URLs and the screen caps and whatever bullshit she's talking about, Betty, I got news for you, pumpkin. The only one in this scenario that looks like the elevator isn't going all the way to the top, when combined with your very impressive criminal history and your civil history as well. Well, oh my God, Betty, I'm sure you're going to go to the blank screen is going to go right to the top of the FBI's 10 most wanted. I mean, God almighty, give me a break. How stupid are you? I mean, are you serious right now? Betty, somebody like you should be doing everything in your power to never have to meet law enforcement again. You need to retire that career. She'll never be able to, but that's what she should do. So I just, like, honestly, I just cannot conceive of somebody who thinks like this. And all this was because blank screen, I guess, called you a grifter, and he was spelling it out word by letter. And shockingly, not at all. By the time he got to the R, well, Betty lost her shit in the most epic way. And prove it. Here's what she will not do. I promise you this. She will not back up any of the ridiculous assertions that she made with proof, because it doesn't exist. It's all up here in her mind. Her channel is stagnant, from what I understand. I don't look at her shit because I couldn't care less. She will go the way of the Furby, the Pet Rock, etc. Cabbage Patch dolls. I mean, well, Elaine, I am glad you are amused. Then I've done something right today. I refuse to believe. I haven't lost complete faith in humanity yet. I'm getting close. But I refuse to believe that she is any more than a gimmick who, if the assertions are correct and her channel is stagnant, it is not doing a thing. And I'm not buying 25,000 subs that she came about them the good old-fashioned way, like I've come across every single one that I have, which is nowhere close to 25,000. And I'm not accusing her of anything because I don't know how any of that shit works. I know people say that you can buy subs. Bitch, I buy shoes. I buy handbags. I don't buy subs. I do it the good old-fashioned way. Like everybody should do it. And if she truly, I mean, when I ask other people who I think are intelligent and who more importantly, or as importantly, they know the lay of the land here on YouTube, they've been here longer than me, because that's the difference between me and that white trash bitch. I talk to people who know more than me. I don't just have a board meeting with myself every morning. I know that I don't know everything. Hell, I don't know close to everything. And what smart people do when they don't know something or they want to learn more about something, they go to the people that do know more. So in your case, I mean, I don't know everybody. In my case, I go to channels that have been around a while or who have much more presence than I do. And I ask, like, how does this happen? How does that happen? Why does this happen? I refuse to believe that she came across those subs like I'm doing. I mean, for fuck's sake, her appearance alone tells you she ain't about putting the work in. She doesn't put the work in to appear like a female. She looks like Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Some days she's more like the love child between Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, maybe, resulting in Dog the Bounty Hunter. So, do you think I'm buying that she's got the subs she has because she's accurate, thoughtful, that she actually gives a shit about any of the people that she exploits, in my opinion, for her benefit? You ever notice that Betty doesn't, like, you will not see her talking about a case, doing her brilliant legal analysis. Answer me this, what kind of a dumbass wants legal analysis from someone who's not a fucking lawyer? Who? Other stupid people? If I want legal analysis, I'm going to a lawyer's channel. There's lots of great ones. Emily D. Baker, Ricada Law, Uncivil Law, Lawyer You Know. There's plenty. Why, in the name of God, would you go to a bitch who thinks that there's a place in the world called La-Tivia? So, Betty, I say, put up or shut up, bitch. Show it. Show the proof. Number one, show the proof. Well, I shouldn't even say this because I won't believe it no matter what. But I want to see your degree. I want to see your degree. By the way, Betty, do you have a high school diploma? I don't think you do. My guess would be you have a GED. And hey, nothing wrong with that. If you can, that wasn't the path I chose to take. And my kid knew that's not him. You will get a high school diploma, no matter what. That is not negotiable. And he did. So I want to see your college degree. Not that, like I said, her whole life seems to be just fantasy. So it's obviously very possible that she can Photoshop a degree. So, but I'd still like to see it. So show us your college degree. I know she lies about a lot of stuff. She lied on her LinkedIn about selling insurance. Well, that's interesting because I asked one of the someone who is at the very highest level of the life insurance game. Kind of like in Las Vegas, if you're a huge gambler, they call you a whale. Yeah, kind of like that. Hey, Bash Strategy Pimps. Bash Strategy Pimps, something occurred to me when I was listening to that lovely lady that called in on Betty's, the one she was so hateful and vile to. Gosh, I thought, that voice sounds kind of familiar. Was that you? You don't have to tell me. So more importantly, though, prove even one of those assertions you have leveled at blank screen. I'll tell you right now what she's going to say. Well, she's not going to say anything, but if every person who thinks she's full of shit said those very words to her, prove it. Show me one thing that constitutes stalking and harassment to a level that you are in fear of your life. Just one. You don't have to show it all. Show us one thing. You need to be able to prove that it's blank screen, by the way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute. I think you're a punk bitch who's got such an inferiority complex. You are so unimportant and irrelevant that you get your kicks by playing tyrant. Bureau of County Commissioner meetings, school board meetings. Please bear in mind, the bitch doesn't have any kids. And I have actually spoken, unsolicited no less, to a member of the school board back in her days of, terrorizing school board meetings. You're trying to be the boss of YouTube. She's trying to be the boss of Karama. Betty, being a criminal, well, that doesn't make you a lawyer. And it doesn't make you qualified at true crime. Why don't you just go be a professional front row Joe? There's a thought. You could be someplace where people actually want you. Because politicians, girl, that Boy, that if you didn't have such a shitty, problematic past, boy, you'd be a great politician because they're slimy. That's a dirty, filthy game, which is why you'd be so good. I don't know. Why don't you just go travel the country, dress like a fool, just, drooling, thirsting for somebody to come put a microphone in front of your face that you can then speak into like you've got an 8th grade education. I mean, that seems to be your passion. Oh, that's right. You need this gig and all the people that you're taking their money. Yeah. You need them to pay for it because you can't get a fucking real job. No. So you got to do this. Another LARPing. Betty's whole life is a LARP. Yep. That was very insightful. Who knew that just a little, what was that, 30 seconds, 45 seconds where she talked to the real reporter? Betty, when you were at the political meeting, when you were all dressed in your, your flag gear and that's great that you're patriotic, but shit, not this girl. Nope. Hell no. I am not putting on some shit that looked like it came from an abandoned fucking gas station pop-up store. Oh, I bet Betty furnishes her house with like the ones where they pop up always at like an abandoned gas station and they're selling area rugs and usually black light pictures or black velvet pictures. They'll be always an Elvis. That's hands down. You got to have that. You can't have a gas station pop-up boutique without an Elvis black velvet painting. And then, usually like a Tupac or a Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, J Dub, how you doing? Literally, Davis fam, how are you? Revival, how you doing? I'm telling you, I think like I said, a broken watch is right twice a day. And liars who lie while lying occasionally tell the truth. And if you are sub to her and you give her money and you think it's going to, for her to bring awareness. I have a lovely piece of swamp that I would like to sell you. We're having bargain basement pricing. Think about that. She is either one of two things can account for that epic idiocy that is the interview at the rally. She's either that stupid and so used to lying to everybody about everything, or she's that arrogant that she doesn't give a shit. She'll do whatever she wants with your money. Doesn't matter what she tells you, what she's, culling the herd. Well, actually, that's not the right word. Sorry, wrong word. They won't get too upset though, because they won't know what the hell that means. You need a velvet painting, hippie? Oh, girl, just put abandoned gas station pop-up store. Ask Siri, she'll find you one. Literally, Davis fam thinks it's arrogance. I think it's both. I think it's a little dash of this, a little sprinkle of that. J-Dub, hyperbole. She can't even pronounce it. God damn, come on. How long has the bitch been using behoove wrong? You know how many times I personally have filled her in on damn behoove? I mean, for God's sake, I'm like her Siri when it comes to vocabulary. I just, oh God. Hippie. She didn't even know there was a country called La-Tivia. She thought it was called La-Tivia. I'm pretty sure she can't point it out on a map, as you have, very nicely requested. It's in the late. Listen, La-Tivia is out of her purview, and she behooves you to get her some GPS coordinates. God, she is such a stupid bitch. Honestly, it's baffling. It really is. Oh my God, these earrings are killing me. I have to take them. It's weird because it's only this one ear that hurts. Ow. The other ear doesn't hurt. Ow, shit. Oh, much better. Doesn't look as pretty, but that's okay. Ooh, owie. So yeah, but yeah, prove it. Prove it. Just give us one little thing, Betty. And I don't know. I mean, you are definitely, well, I'm not going to, never mind. I'm not going to, I'm going to hold back on that particular thought. But Betty, what you ought to be doing, you ought to be trying to meet a man. That's what you should be doing, because you are miserable. And, there's a lot of people that think if you just, maybe had a date with something that doesn't require batteries, that, maybe you'd be, oh, I don't know. I don't think that'd make her any nicer. I mean, she might have that, little glow for about 18 seconds. It would be short-lived. So, ouch. Well, shall we finish her call? Because that's what the thumbnail said. Well, this is not about politics. I know that that's kind of a tactic too. Betty has a lot of diversion tactics. Another thing I think that would be very interesting to ask her, right after you ask her to point out La-Tivia on the map, ask her what conservative principles and tenets which are like closest to her heart, besides this, because I'm telling you right now, that's what Betty thinks makes her a Republican. And I'm just stating here for the record, I cannot think of another person that the thought of having one of these terrifies me more than her, because she has no control over her emotions, as we've all seen many times. So this is not what makes you a conservative Republican. And it just seems that I would be shocked if she could actually name anymore. It's very interesting because most Republicans believe that everything should stay at the state level whenever possible. Where's the first place that Betty runs when she finally had enough? Right to the federal government. Most Republicans also do not believe in the welfare state. And if rumor is to be believed, well, Betty is the beneficiary of government largesse. Yeah, Betty is a rhino. Republican in name only. And I promise you, you call yourself whatever you want. This doesn't make you a Republican. No, that just makes you, oh yes, hippie, always, Betty's always going right to the top. Real conservatives want as little federal government oversight as possible. They want the states to decide states' rights. As little federal government involvement as possible. Well, I don't know, but it just seems to me that, like I said, rhino, and I don't just mean her skin. Okay. Yep, Heather, I agree. Yep, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just reading the comments. Oh my God. Literally, Art Davis, Davis fam. Are you serious? She has actually shown that. She has shown one of these on YouTube. She truly, every time I think I got a handle on how actually ignorant she is, something else comes to light. Wow. Yes, in her community tab. She is an absolute, unmitigated jackass fool. That is so, which that is why I say the thought of that reckless bitch who has little to no self-control owning a weapon, and I promise you that bitch has no idea how to use it. She couldn't probably hit the broadside of a barn from 5 feet away. I guarantee you. Let me tell you, I say all the time, Betty's a poser. Everything about her tells me she is a poser. People who are of means, people who have money, they never run around telling you how much money they have. Posers do that. People who have self-protection never tell you, like they don't flip open their jacket or pull up their pant leg to show you their side piece. No, Betty, yes, I know side piece is the only thing you would. Yeah. Oh yeah, she was Dolly's side piece, wasn't she? At least for a night or two, allegedly. Boy, Betty, you and I are, I've already said we're from different universes. You are the Big Lots version of me. Bitch, that'd be the day that I shacked up in a serial killer Scooby-Doo van with the Lucky Charms leprechaun in the middle of winter in Idaho. But I'm sure it was very romantic. Oh my God, it just keeps getting better and better. The hits keep on coming. Yeah. So I know several people who are licensed to concealed carry, and I've never known one who would ever tell you, and you would never know. And many of those people that I'm talking about, well, their own personal home may look like Fort Knox. They may or may not have a safe that yours truly can stand in, because that's what responsible do. They don't put pictures. I mean, what? Let me guess. Does she also, by any chance, have, like, I don't know, a strap of Benjamins laid out on her bed next to her pew pew? Because that's what most of these, like, wannabe children on social media do. I'm sorry, children-ish wannabes, like wannabe thugs, wannabe drug thugs, rappers, etc., or just, complete bullshit, smoke and mirrors, nothing that they want you to believe they are. I mean, because that, in my mind, that's the mentality that does shit like that. Are you insane? Like, why would you do that? I mean, but I guess it's all good. It'll just all be noted for the file. We'll just note it for the permanent file. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean, honestly, it is, I just truly, I know many people who are armed on their person, in their home, and in their cars. All fully licensed and legal. And when I say licensed, I mean the ones who have concealed carry. I've never known not one of them, because they're fucking grown-ups. They're not posting pictures of their weapons on social media. What do you think that does, you dumb bitch? Do you think that gives you street cred? It makes you look like the ghetto bitch you are. Like, my God, Betty, how do you have time to, like, go to the range and practice? Betty's that bitch who probably doesn't know how to, like, where the safety is. That's her. I'd love to see that, Betty. I would love to see Betty post a video of her at the range. And I want to see you get all your shots in the very inner ring. You know, what they call the vital areas. Right here, center mass. Give me a bullseye center mass every time. I want to see it. Because let me tell you something, if you are that irresponsible that you're running around and you want the whole world to know you're armed, are you just really trying to make sure you never get laid again in your life? Because nobody, I repeat, nobody is stalking this bitch. Nobody's coming to her house. You're irrelevant. You are a legend in your own mind and no one else's. Betty, I'm not walking around armed, posting pictures of my weapons on social media. Why would I need to do that? And if I'm not worried, why are you? Because trust me, I think I got a far bigger risk of I mean, I could put it to a vote. You know what I'm saying without me saying it. God, you are such a fool. But since you're such a fan, since you're oh, you think it's a flex. Okay, great. Show us. Because anybody who does that and is so like wants everybody to know what you're working with, well, by God, you better be absolutely proficient with that weapon. So prove it that you are. And the way you get proficient is a whole lot of practice. So show us, Betty. Go to the range. Take a video. I want to see you hit center mass every time. Or even most of the time. I don't know what kind of weapon she has because it scares the living shit out of me to think about somebody like her carrying a weapon. Because number one, she has no control over her emotions. She's reckless as hell. She's violent. At least she has been in the past. It takes nothing to set her off and make her blow a gasket, as we've seen. So, I mean, that scares me. And aside from that, anybody who is, so like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird to me how much she wants people to, it's almost like she's daring people. Like, look what I got, come for me. This is the woman that I heard one time. God, I blew that channel up, so I can't get that video back. But it was at least a year ago. This woman told, oh, this is in the crude AF era, which I had just come on the scene. I think he had been gone not too long when I started a channel. So it's in that era. I heard her with these two ears tell somebody when she was talking about, she was saying that crude AF was, Betty, my goodness, why is everybody stalking you, girl? Well, it's not because you're hot, because you are not. So they don't want dates. I don't know why is everybody so interested in stalking you? Oh, because you're a see you next Tuesday? Yeah, noted. But nobody's like looking to take you out over it. Not anybody normal. And neither was he. You're just a little tyrant who was having a temper tantrum. And you do what all like sharks do. No, I shouldn't call her a shark. That's giving her too much credit. You're weak and you can't do what I'm doing. Bitch, I give you an open invitation. You come over here anytime you want. And you debate me on anything under the sun. You can't do what I do. You know why? You can't keep it confined to YouTube because you're a punk and you're not that smart. So you can't go toe to toe with your words like a big girl. You take pictures of a pew-pew. You go after people's family. I told your little buddy before, I may be a bird of a different feather for you. Because all the things you assholes like to go after, well, I don't have any of those things. I don't have to go outside of YouTube. I don't give a shit about your family, your friends. Well, you don't have any friends. You're just a miserable little bitch. Just put your money where your mouth is. Wait, I'm looking at something in the chat. Who? Oh, Liza, absolutely. Oh my God almighty. Don't feed him. I'm just telling you guys right now, he's just trolling. As long as he's not saying anything, he's just saying stupid shit that he doesn't believe any of that. As long as he doesn't get on anybody else's nerves and he doesn't say anything derogatory about, anybody outside of this chat right here, right? You guys get what I'm saying. But the more you feed him, the more he's gonna do it. And he was good yesterday. Mike, the only reason I bounced you yesterday is because when you listen, I let you come in here, I let you troll all the time because it's just not that big of a deal. But when you said that you were cool with the Sarah Dreyer thing, like that's a bridge too far. So as long as it's just stupid shit like that, y'all let him. The more you, like I said, the more you feed him, the more he does it. So, but if he gets to be too much, then but yes. Anybody who owns a firearm, whether you're some middle-aged, busted up, white trash bitch who puts pictures of it on her social media because you've got the mentality of a high school kid or a wannabe gangbanger, or I don't know, trying to be a rapper, Betty. What do you got going on here? But whatever the case may be, anyone who owns a firearm, there's not that many responsibilities that are greater than that. So to me, anyone who owns a firearm, you better be proficient in using it. And the way you get proficient at using it is you practice at the range, or, if you've got property, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I am a whole grown ass woman. And I'm just trying to conceive of a situation where I would post a picture of a firearm on my YouTube community page like it was a flex. See, I don't see it as a flex because any dumbass who's got the money and is not a convicted felon or otherwise precluded from owning a firearm, like you've got some mental health history, any idiot can buy one. That's not me. I do not put, like I said, it's the posers, the ones who are always telling you how smart they are, how much money they have, their jobs they say they have, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture. Those are always the people that are full of shit. Because people that are confident and they're truthful, it's like, I mean, because quite frankly, I don't give a shit what anybody in YouTube thinks, as far as Liza, I don't think he does at all. No, he'll never change her. And I don't think he has a crush on her. I think he has a crush on me. I think I can't explain Mike and Betty. I don't know. He'll tell you that she brings awareness. He likes that. But other than that, I don't get it. I'll never get it. Just, oh, please let it be. Let it be. Let it be. No. Oh God, that was horrible. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. Yeah. There's a reason, y'all, that you do not see me. I don't flex. The channel is called Crimes and Fashion, which is why I try and show you the fashion portion of the program when possible. What you have never seen me do, and you're never going to see me do, is I don't take you into my closet to show you everything I have or don't have. I don't take you in my garage and show you what I drive. I don't take you around my house. I don't show you my shoes and handbag collection. I don't do shit like that. I don't show you my guns. I don't why? I don't get up here and speak. Nothing that I'm doing in this chair has any bearing on any of those things I just mentioned. So why would I do that? Unless I was trying to make you believe I am something I'm not. All I ever try and do is give my take on things. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to, most importantly, I'm not asking for your money. So I just know from my life experience that usually the ones that scream the loudest about things are typically the ones who are full of shit. Oh, Heather, I do mention my qualifications and certs when discussing her sometimes because she's claiming to be what I worked so hard to get myself. And I feel it gives me the right to criticize her novice self. You're damn right it does. Absolutely. Listen, that's what, the first time I ever spoke about her, oh, I forgot. I didn't tell you what she said. I heard Betty back in the crude AF time. When she made another one of her claims about being stalked and harassed, she told people on YouTube, I heard it with my own ears, as she's, telling you that there were people looking in her windows and going through her yard by her mailbox. And she said, you better be careful because I live in Florida and we have stand your ground here. And I can shoot you through my window if you come on my property. Wrong. And I looked up the statute and I read it to her. Now, if that doesn't terrify you, it should. Because anybody who would say something so fucking stupid, and then you factor into that the stupid on the end of that sentence has one of these. Well, that should scare the shit out of you. Because that's the mentality. Oops. But Heather Smith, absolutely. It is. That's the way I feel about her because I do have a legal education and from a state college. And first and foremost, I am offended as an educated woman. I am offended by a dumb bitch like her that gets up and runs her pie hole and is so wrong about so many things. And it does. I can only imagine how you feel. So trust me, you are preaching to the choir. Your choir just sounds like it's more educated than my choir. So, see, and that's another thing. Do you think Betty, have you ever heard Betty say words like that? No, and you won't. No, what you will hear her say are things like, if you weren't so stupid, dot, dot, dot. If you had a brain, dot, dot, dot. Yeah, like I said, Beavis and Butthead. I have a legal education. You do not. Okay, sure. So, believe me, I get it. Oh, Liza, listen, we have all said, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it to all of them, but especially her, especially somebody that is such a loud mouth, busybody. Bitch, your own life is a steaming pile of shit. You should stop worrying about other people's and worry about your own dumpster fire you got going on. I mean, my God, the situation on your head alone, I mean, figure that out. But it will happen. Oh, I just hope I'm around to see it. It's just life. She is going to come up against the wrong one. And she will absolutely, richly deserve everything she's going to get. Like I said, I just hope I'm here to see it. Hippie says, I am a nurse and have some skills at identifying some clear mental breakdown she is showing. That is obviously Hippiporium's opinion. Sounds like it's based in her educational and occupational knowledge, but that is not, that is an opinion. I have every reason to agree with it. I'm not saying I don't. I just want to make it plain that it definitely, listen, you would have to be a fool or incredibly naive to be able to watch not just the phone call, which I promise I'm pulling it up in a second, not just the FBI, but my God, how hateful she was to the woman. What was her name? Mel? Was her name Mel from South Carolina? Bash, are you sure that wasn't you? I kept thinking, damn, that voice sounds familiar. God, well, whoever you are, God bless you. And on behalf of civilized people, I apologize for her. But there was not one thing that woman said. And Betty actually said to her, gee, projection much? When Betty said to her, you're acting like a something lunatic. What did she say? It was insane. It was like, what? Do you hear yourself right now? That's Betty. Yeah, I believe that there is absolutely something going on with her. I don't know what it is. It's way above my pay grade, but I don't think you have to be a physician or even in the medical field to take a look at. I have always said that her reactions are always wildly disproportionate to the situation. And that was next level. Let's just pull up the rest of her FBI calls, shall we? I think that'd be fun. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't have anything going on today. Okay. Share.
Go away.
Okay, this is right when blank screen appears. So yes, we are going to backtrack just a little bit. I'll try not to do commentary on that since I already hit those highlights yesterday. Y'all, I'm going to go nuke my coffee for real quickly. I'm going to run. I'll let it play for just a minute or so. And then I promise I'll be back before we get to the part that I haven't heard.
Don't come back another day. You know I'm going to be filing charges with the FBI against you. Like, I've literally had, you're stalking me. Constant stalking and harassing me is coming to an end. Believe that. And as a matter of fact, today's going to be the day. I'm going to go down to the Sarasota FBI and I'm going to bring all of this to them. I am done with your shenanigans. I'm done with you stalking me. I'm done with all your emails. I'm done with I'm done with it all. Nobody deserves to live like that. Nobody. If you don't like me, stay the fuck off my channel. It's pretty simple. Bye. Excuse my language, guys. Excuse my language. But you don't understand. That person is truly stalking me. And it's starting to get really scary. And I'm starting to fear for my life. And you guys have no idea what that feels like. So I'm done. I'm going to the sheriff's department today. I will record it all. I'm done. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. And I don't mean to cuss, but I'm tired of being I'm a human being. I don't deserve to be stalked and harassed, for two years. 2 years. And this person is getting more and more out of control. They literally post about me every day. They think of me morning, noon, and night. They are mentally.
She said she's a human being. No, that's debatable. For 2 years, morning, noon, and night, they've been stalking and harassing her. Betty, show us. Hippie, are you kidding me? She accused him of sexual abuse. Bitch, you wish somebody wanted to. Oh, God. Oh, God. My God. She Betty, you need help. I don't know what kind of help you need. It's not, I can assure you of this. It's not found on YouTube. But Betty will be her own undoing.
Mentally ill. I don't know who they are, but they are severely mentally ill, and I don't deserve it. And
wait a minute. She doesn't know who they are. So why is she? Wait a minute. Then how is she accusing blank screen of these things? She just said out of her own mouth, I don't know who they are. Is that as in, I don't know who they are, I don't know their real name? Well, Betty, some of us, or actually, some people are a lot smarter than you and me. Me, because I've shown my face and I expose people like you. And that, but I feel like if I'm going to do that, I need to show my face. But in your case, you are an absolute blithering ass idiot who gave all of YouTube on multiple occasions your address. You post pictures of your house. You are stupid. Okay? So I don't know who they are. Betty, you couldn't get laid in a whorehouse. Okay? Nobody. It just, does anybody notice how the story just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it keeps just getting more fantastical? I mean, and there's a part of me that thinks that she had to do that, not the SA part, but there's a part of me that thinks she flipped the fuck out on a live stream because, like I said, she does not have control over this right here. You know why? Because this governs this. At least it's supposed to. And if you're normal, this right here also comes into play. I'm of the opinion she doesn't have one of these, so throw that out the window. But when I sit in this chair, I am fully responsible for anything that comes out of my mouth. I got a little out of pocket yesterday because I actually spoke, instead of calling you a see you next Tuesday, I called you the actual word. I wish I hadn't done that, but only because it makes me look like the white trash that you are. So, but that's on me, and I take responsibility for it. You don't take responsibility for anything. But I would never. So when I say something I shouldn't have said, it's along those lines, and it's something it just reflects on me. It's not me accusing people of felonies. So I believe that she lost her shit on a live stream because she's like a child and she cannot, there's no speed bump. Like, there's supposed to be a speed bump between here and here, and she doesn't have one. And she started to commit, so she had to carry out with it because we've got to sell the story. And because she's, okay, Hippie said that was about, she was speaking about crude AF and that, yeah. Betty, let me tell you something, honey. There's enough things that people say about you that are true. They don't have to make things, you don't need to make things up, okay? People say enough terrible things about you. You don't have to invent things. And nobody wants to essay you. There's not a man alive, apparently, who wants to be with you. I have never heard of you having a boyfriend or a male companion other than the husband that my understanding was pretty much illiterate. That is why he couldn't. I heard on YouTube that he was literally could not, like, he couldn't write out the police report. The cops had to do it for him because he wasn't literate. And several people have opined that, oh God, I just looked and it said mute mic, and I thought, oh my God, have I been like talking all this time and the mic was but it's not. It's just for some reason the little message is staying lit. I have heard several people opine that the reason the strangulation charges were dropped, well, charges were not brought, but the reason that charges that the state's attorney did not decide to prosecute that was because the victim, her now ex-husband, he was not literate and not able to pursue it. He would have had to have a lot of help, let's just say that. So there you go. So that kind of, I'm not going to insult him. There's things I could say, but he's never done anything on this platform. And as far as I can see, my God, the poor man, like you can imagine, you know what he endured. So I'm not going to comment any more on that. But that's not because of her. There's things I'd like to say, but I'm not going to, because that man, like I said, he had to endure her. I think that's punishment enough.
I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm not going to
We'll
act like it's not going on. We all have seen it going on here.
Prove it, bitch. I want to see it. If she's telling the truth, which I don't believe she is, but if she's telling the truth, and there is even one threat to that level, she will be able to produce one irrefutable piece of proof. I'm telling you right now what she's going to say. See, this one, and people of her ilk, this is where they're devious and they're crafty. She's fucking dumb as wood. She thinks there's a place called La-Tivia, okay? She's educationally and intellectually, she's a dumbass. Criminally minded, she's probably pretty savvy. Usually people with a resume like hers are. This is what she's going to say in response to me or anyone like me who said, put up or shut up, bitch. She's going to say, I've turned it all over to law enforcement and I've been told I am not to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And she knows. It's kind of like people know that HIPAA comes into play and there are certain allegations that cannot be proven. And you can't, people who do shit like this, they know what can and cannot be fact checked because either HIPAA or legal, like a case that the FBI is looking into, because that's what she'll say. And I guess technically, if you are idiot enough to call the FBI, well, I guess you can theoretically say this is a case with law enforcement with the FBI's involved in. Bitch, put up or shut up. You show one piece of proof. I don't believe it. I'll never believe it. Well, blank screen, welcome. Are you getting the red carpet treatment around these parts these last couple days? I damn sure hope you are, because you deserve it. Who knew that the letter R? Do you know that I did not realize until I went into this morning and started listening to the glare? Was it the glare? Wait a minute. No, somebody before that. It'll come to me. I didn't realize that all you were doing was spelling the word grifter, and you only got to the letter R before she lost her shit. You guys are going to laugh. Do you know what this reminds me of right now? What just came to my mind? Oh my God, I love this. I love when this happens. This is like a great childhood memory. I'm just so sad that this disgusting, nasty bitch is the one who brought it to the forefront. Actually, it wasn't her. It was blank screen. Do you guys remember when I was in kindergarten, we would have the letter of the week? Do you remember the big blow up letters? They look like a Mylar balloon, kind of. Oh my God, I loved that. Oh my God, wrong pipe. Excuse me. She got mad that I spelled out grifter one letter at a time. Well, inch by inch, life's a cinch. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, let that bitch send my family members a cease and desist. Bitch, my family could buy you and sell you 1,000,000 times over, sweet pea, and you'd be barking up the wrong tree, I promise you. They would laugh. They would laugh in your face. Oh my God, I cannot imagine. But see, I do understand when she picks on someone who does have family members that, have businesses and whatnot, and they're worried about their livelihoods. I don't have that situation, so suck it, bitch.
And I actually, as a matter of fact, I think it's time for us to all start writing. I'll get you guys. I want to screen capture everything.
What is she saying? She's starting a campaign. I think it's all time for us to start. You guys want to hear something funny that this just reminded me of? When I first had a channel over a year ago, Betty was on her Summer Wells, her letter writing campaign. She wanted everybody to write letters to Hawkins County. And dumbass here was, oh, she was kind enough for all the stupid little people out here. She was kind enough to draft up a letter. You guys, I read that letter. It was so riddled with errors. And it said, I have to remember how she was addressing the prosecutor. Oh my God, you guys, oh God, I would love if I still had that shit. I don't even have that channel anymore, so it's not like I could go back and find it. But this was before I knew anything about her. I just thought, I came across her channel and I thought, well, you know, she's trying to do something here and this is absurd. And I thought, you know, I think I'm just going to, I left a comment and it's not like I, you know, redlined the whole thing, but there were some glaring errors, and it was in the way she was addressing the prosecutor. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But put it this way, it was so ridiculously wrong. And I very politely said in the comment, I said, I just wanted to let you know, because I didn't know that, I don't think at that time I had heard her, you know, I'm a legal professional. But I thought to myself, well, you know, if this bitch can actually get people to do this, this is what she told people to do. She said, I'm going to draft the letter. All you have to do is get a stamp in an envelope, print the letter, sign your name, and put it off in the mail. And they're going to get thousands and thousands of letters. I probably got 4. But I thought, well, you know, she's trying to do something to put some pressure on Hawkins County to, you know, let them know that people are watching and they really want to see this case get resolved. So I left a very polite comment and I said, oh, you know, I think I started it off by saying, I think it's, you know, it's a nice thing that you're trying to do here. I said, if I could just make a couple suggestions, and I said, and the only reason I'm saying this is because I think it's such an important topic. And if you're taking the time to, you know, prevail upon people to take part in this, I think you want to address the prosecutor using the correct honorific title. Of course, I didn't hear anything. And that was that. But God, I wish I could remember how and it was something so like even a I thought, my God, even as a lay person, like why would you address, I wish I could remember. And I mean, I literally had to tell her. I said the correct honorific would be Dear Joe Blow, Assistant State's Attorney. I cannot remember the wording she was using, but it was ridiculous. I can't believe I just thought of that.
Want the URLs for that blank screen. We're going to start writing the legal department at YouTube as well. I've absolutely
you gotta, how about at the same time while you're writing the legal department at YouTube, why don't you tell them to take a look at some of your finer work? Oh God,
had it. I don't care who they are, they deserve to be in jail.
So do you. You fucking,
instead of you worrying about me and what I'm doing, why don't you worry about the crimes you are committing and actively committing?
Because you're a lowlife, lazy dirtbag who can't work because you've got a criminal record a mile long. Suck it.
You know what? You don't know that. You don't know what's going on behind.
I love this comment. Gee, this is a very normal thinking comment. Oh my goodness, it's the internet. And anyone can come in a public chat, Bullhorn Betty. Please understand YouTube, it's public, no threats were given. She is so mad right now. The reason she's sitting up and doing this, I promise you, she is so full hot. And not just because she's got a fucking Klieg light in her face that could light Shea Stadium. You know, I said, Bullhorn Betty, she should come out with a skincare line, I know that is an oxymoron. I thought, yeah, it's the Bullhorn Betty line of beauty products. All you need is a flashlight and an ice pick, and you too can look like Bullhorn Betty. Fuck this bitch. Like, honestly, I know there's people who are going to say I shouldn't be going after her appearance. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, fuck her. It's all fair game. Cry me a river, little girl.
Behind the scenes, that person is stalking me.
Nobody's stalking you.
Okay? And until you have that experience of being stalked,
I have had that experience, you wretched
don't
bitch.
tell me anything, because you're not
And I
experiencing what I'm.
promise you, what she is calling stalking, in comparison to my knowledge base, that's a birthday party.
Experiencing. And as a matter of fact, you can go. I'm over it. Like, literally over it. You guys think I'm about clicks and views? I could care less about my subscriber count. The people that love me come here and see me every single day.
Nobody loves
They support this.
Nobody loves you. That's why you're such a wretched see you next Tuesday, because nobody does love you.
Channel every single day.
What's the love?
I don't care whether I have 10,000 or 25,000. We had 10,000 views yesterday.
Yeah, you know why? Because you acted the damn fool, the ass clown. You made a complete and utter fool of yourself. That's why. And everybody loves a train wreck. And you are an unlimited source of material where that's concerned.
Okay, it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if I only had 2,000.
Oh no, I bet
we had 10,000 views yesterday. So nothing's going on with my account.
How are you gonna buy your weed, your vape pen, or whatever that fucking thing is? I don't know. She smokes weed, so that was sorry. I had Dolly on the brain, I guess. Her little vape thing, whatever it is she smokes. How are you gonna buy that? How are you gonna buy your gas? How are you gonna buy the toilet paper you wipe your big ass with? How are you gonna do all that? How are you gonna go on your tour of terror, victimizing further victims of crime? How are you going to do that? If not on your subs dimes? How are you going to go like roll hard as some wannabe political hack? How are you going to do all that? Just wondering. Because you don't have a job. So I'm calling bullshit on the, the sub count doesn't matter, and this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. Yeah, bitch. Shakespeare. The lady doth protest too much. Yep. You spend an awful lot of time screaming about how you're not bothered by being not bothered. You're not this, you're not that. Yeah. And see what she's doing right there? This. Oh, that's because she is so infuriated. Between the fury inside of her and the Klieg light shining in her face, she's quite literally melting down before your eyes. And I promise you, she has got sweat rolling down her back and down the front of her. That's why she's arched like that.
The hate channels are saying, and we're not going to keep giving them power. Thank you, Southern Granny Wolf.
Oh, no, you will.
We are taking the power back. We're taking our power back.
No, you have no power.
We are definitely doing that.
No, you have no power.
And these people are playing around until they get sick.
You wouldn't have to come on and play Batista Betty on YouTube. You wouldn't treat YouTube like it's your own personal fiefdom, like you're Kim Jong-un's right-hand man. you have no power. People who have power and a life, they don't go to BOCC meetings to get their 3 minutes of fame while foaming at the mouth on live TV. They don't attend school board meetings in districts where they don't even own property. They don't do anything you do.
Sued, and they are getting sued. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. The reason why this is getting all chaotic is because people are getting their just desserts. And
because your head is all chaotic, I would imagine, is why it's getting all chaotic. Well, that's a brilliant statement if I've ever heard one. Getting all chaotic. Okay. Oh, she's so well spoken. The Bullhorn Betty School of, I think Prayer Garden has, I think we're going to have a Prayer Garden University graduating class. We've got Prayer Garden of America up at the top of the pyramid, because she is the most illiterate, poorly spoken person on YouTube. So Betty, there is that to be thankful for. You should send her a thank you note. Except you're too ill-mannered. You wouldn't even know how to write one. And then we've got, of course, Dolly. Jaundice. Yeah, Jaundice is, even back when I thought he was a nice guy, he doesn't speak proper English either. What is it that he always says? Instead of saying they, like, they went, there's something it's not them. There's a certain couple words, simple like usage and grammar that he always says wrong. And it's one of these things where is it the end of the world? No, but I'm just going to leave that there. Y'all know my thoughts on that.
Preachers, you might want to mute your sound
preachers,
because I'm going ghetto.
Bitch, if you've got preachers in your audience, I would suggest this is just a courtesy call for the preachers in Betty's audience. Well, I'm sure you're already worried about her eternal soul. I mean, based on her behavior, but clearly she looks to be having some kind of an event. You might want to reach out if you're a preacher. Yes, Betty's got lots of the clergy listening in her chat. God bless you, Betty. God bless you. Yes, Betty and Prayer Garden are so alike in that respect. The only two people on YouTube that will tell you, fuck you, kiss my ass, and I hope your house burns down. God bless you. Oh, God bless you, God bless you. Amen. God bless you, sister. Thank you for that super chat. Gross. All of you.
That is exactly what I'm doing, because I'm going to tell these people right now. Here, this right here, you gonna get paid. I can get down in those gutters too.
Look at this stupid bitch.
Girl or
you
boy.
Can get down in those gutters, bitch. You live in that gutter. What are you talking about? You need to climb, not sink. I mean, if you're already in the gutter, you would be in the septic, the shit that goes underground. Oh, and here, how's this for? I mean, nothing says professional activist. Amy, you are correct. He has yes, there's something else too. He's got very poor grammar. Nothing says professional like live streaming from your bed and pulling your covers up while you're raging. And wait for it. I want you all to notice her shirt. And I don't know, maybe she wears this because there's no man alive that's like wants to hold those. So she's got on her shirt with two hands hitting the target. We'll just say mine are front and center. Hers are probably, what was I saying about center mass? Yeah, that's probably where hers are. Hers are closer to the navel than the collarbones. So yeah. That's just my guess. That's my assessment based on seeing her in a tank top. And God, Betty, tank top days are over, girl. Keep telling me that. But yeah, nothing says professional like wearing a t-shirt with two hands. Yeah, right there. Okay.
or it.
Let me tell y'all something. You ain't got to ever worry about getting nobody back for some shit they done did to you. Because quiet as it's kept,
Not wrong.
everybody working get paid. Let me break that down so you understand what I mean. Everybody working,
Everybody
getting paid. See, some of you motherfuckers don't even know that you're working. But payday comes after a while, bitch. You being messy, you're working. You gossiping about people, you're working. You stealing, lying, cheating, or just all around doing some.
Listen, Betty has you as a guest on her channel. It's not nice of you to talk about her like that. My goodness, you're not supposed to shit talk your hostess. But that's okay. She's a bitch. Keep talking.
Fuck shit. You're working. And payday is on its motherfucking way. Let me tell you something, you work.
My goodness, Betty. This is not very, my goodness. And here I was, well, my goodness, that makes her shirt situation pale in comparison. I mean, are you kidding me right now? I mean, yeah, this lady's funny. I like her as much as the next guy. However, you are holding yourself out as a victim's advocate, as an as a professional of some sort. And you've got, this is what you put on your channel. And I'm going to say it again in case anybody missed it. I think this lady's hilarious. I'm totally down with everything she's saying. I just wouldn't put it on my, what is supposed to be a business and professional episode live stream. But that's just me.
Working motherfuckers.
In fact,
Some of you.
I'm just going to mute her until she's done because, God, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean it. It has nothing to do with that lady because I think she was funny as shit. That's like, I love that. But that is not what members of the media do when they're supposedly working. But let's face it, no members of the media are as illiterate sounding as Betty, and they don't stream from their bed while wearing a t-shirt with two hands that are supposed to be grabbing where if your breasts are where they're supposed to be, especially at her age, well, yeah, it's just not professional, Betty.
I'm seriously like over the BS.
We're
like,
over
seriously,
you too, honey.
You have reached the Tampa field office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Wait a minute.
If this is an
Okay. I knew there was a Tampa. Okay, that's Hillsborough County, so I'm not sure what. I guess Manatee didn't have one. I don't know.
emergency, please hang up now. Dial 911.
Listen to the
Please
choices.
listen carefully to our
Very
menu.
interesting, the choices.
If you are a law
I can tell you what choice you're not going to hear on there. Press 7 if you are a salty, immature, low-life bitch who's just tired of people stating the obvious when they come in her chat. I mean, I mean, in my mind, if Betty can no longer deal with this very serious threat to her personal safety, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm going to get off the internet. I'm going to get off YouTube. I'm going to take a break. And I know what I did when I was having an issue that what you don't do is all of this mess. That's what you don't do.
enforcement officer or are calling to report a bank robbery or kidnapping.
A bank robbery, a kidnapping.
If you are calling from media information,
Where's the excuse me. I'm trying to run a media empire here. I'm a victim's advocate. I'm an investigator. I bring awareness, and I do not have time to sit here all day waiting for the prompt that says which number I'm supposed to choose for the trolls that are bothering me in my chat. So can you just cut to the chase, please?
Now.
Look at her face. She is.
To file a
She's
complaint,
good.
report a possible federal crime or suspicious activity, please press 3 now.
Your call is being transferred.
Oh, a federal.
Please wait on the line.
Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI. This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For
And it's also
emergencies,
not
please
where you
call
call to report
911.
trolls.
Si usted desea escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor oprima el número 1.
If you or someone you know are having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health crisis, or seeking mental health resources, press 1.
You should press 1, Betty, for the mental health resources portion of the.
In a few moments, you will be connected to an operator. This call is
Yeah,
recorded.
here's the
for
funny part.
insurance,
I
investigations, or other purposes.
guarantee you,
If you
this
do not-
dumb bitch thinks that she's getting connected to an underground bunker command center just filled with thousands of FBI agents just waiting to take your call while sitting in Command Central tech bunker from an undisclosed location. Bitch, that shit is outsourced. It's probably in an industrial park somewhere. And my guess would be you are not speaking to an agent. You're speaking to someone who takes, you're at the gatekeepers. And you've probably got several more levels of gatekeeper to get through. That would be my guess. Does anybody know how much further this goes on? Can you guys hear me? Oh my God, if I have been muted this whole time. Could y'all please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me now or any point in the last 10 minutes. It says the mic is not muted. Okay, good. At any rate, my guess is she's just at level 1 gatekeeper. And I highly doubt that whoever she speaks to is an actual FBI agent. They are probably employed by the FBI. I'm just highly doubtful that it's an actual FBI agent because let's just say that I have a family member that is in a branch of law enforcement. And if you had any idea of some of the really foul, disgusting, god-awful things that go on, and of course we all have ideas, but I mean, to actually, I know what this person would say about some dumbass like this wasting their time and resources for her because she's butthurt as usual. Does anybody know how long this call goes? How long does she? And how about this? How about the fact that she is so rude and cares so little for her subs' time that she's got them sitting there in this fucking dog and pony show Well, she's on mute and just expects everybody to sit there and just wait for her little tirade to be over. I would never. Hey, Kit, how you doing? Notre Dame, nice to see you. I would never, ever. Y'all, I get hives if I think I'm going to be 1 minute late to a live stream. I just don't do that. I mean, I'm a little ridiculous with time, but to me, it's respect. I try to me, people who are late, chronically, people who do shit like this, it's just a shitty lack of respect for other people. That's to me what it is. Like, if you're chronically late, you don't plan better. That's just me. So to think that she's got however many people she's got in there sitting there while it's like, bitch, you wanted to have this little charade in front of all these people because you think you're making a point. Well, why don't you take it all the way then? She could have very easily done one of these when it was time to, when they said, what's your social? But the rest of it, why? Why can't they hear? I mean, you're the one who got everybody on the roller coaster, and now you're just leaving them hanging at the top while you just do what you should have done on your own fucking time. Because you don't care. She doesn't give a shit. She does not care about anyone but herself. And she doesn't even care about herself, which is evidenced by everything about her.
Wish to be recorded, please press 1 to learn how to submit a tip online. After the instructions are provided, your phone will be disconnected.
Where are we? 52. Oh my God. Okay, now we're at 56 and counting. She's had people. Are you fucking kidding me? Now we're over an hour in, and she's still on mute and got people sitting there watching her flap her gums. You know what? I've had enough of this nasty skank bitch for today. Like, I'm done. I'm just so done. What else can I say? I don't need to say anything else. Her stupid ass subs may sit in there for 20 minutes while she's on mute and puts on her little dog and pony show that, interestingly enough, she wants all of YouTube to see her start this call. But she sure as hell doesn't want any of YouTube to listen to the call. Which means you should have made the call on your own time. That's what it means. And then you come back. But no, everything she does is, let's see, Title 18 U.S. Code, Section 287, false claims statute, provides in any part, whoever makes or presents to any person or officer in the civil, military, or naval service of the United States, or department or agency thereof, any claim upon or against the United States, knowing such claim to be false, fictitious, or fraudulent, wouldn't that be wonderful? But you know what? She's the kind who Betty's like, sorry, just like I said earlier, she's a basic bitch. She's Walmart. There's a million of her walking around every Walmart in this country. She's people who think like her, in my opinion, who are the ones who always know how to game the system. They're the ones who are on disability while working, more than supposedly they're so disabled. My neck, my back, my back, my neck, but yet they're tripping through the daisies all over the place. Probably people who put their channels in other people's names to circumvent restrictions on, I don't know, maybe taxes paid, or I don't know, maybe if you're disabled and you're not allowed to earn or work because you're so disabled. You know, people who do stuff like that, people who collect welfare while being able to generate enough money to support themselves. Well, those are the kind of people that, while that statute very much could provide up to 5 years, according to that statute, for anybody who makes false, you know, claims and statements to federal agencies and whatnot. But see, it's always the basic bitches and just the basic lowlifes. They always know. While that is the legal letter of the law, they know that very much the spirit of the law, well, they don't have time to dick around with losers who do shit like that. They got bigger fish to fry. And people like her and her ilk and people who live like that, they know that. It's sad, but it's true. And that is why people like her and people of that mindset, well, it's kind of like when my husband comes home from a hard day at the office and I'm on the couch watching YouTube, having a cocktail. I got a dog in the bed sleeping. I got 3 cats lounging around on the cloud sofa. And he comes in the door. He's like, "Hi, honey, I'm home." I'm like, "Hi, how was work?" And he's like, "Well, you know, somebody's got to pull this wagon." It's a joke in the house, but it's very much a real. Oh, shut up, you dumb bitch. The only road you're moving down. That was hilarious. I forgot that I had the window open. But that sentiment, somebody's got to pull the wagon. It is very much it's a sign of the times. It really is. You think about, especially when COVID time, right around there, how many people sit on their ass and do nothing but collect welfare because they make more money sitting on their ass than they do working. So they just sit on their ass because they have no pride. They have no, and I'm not talking about people who are legit disabled, okay? I'm talking about grifters. So, and it's very much true. Somebody has to make this country run. And unfortunately, it's always the people like me and probably you. It's always the people in the middle. The uber wealthy, well, they actually, I'm not going to get into all, I'm not going to turn this into politics, but typically it's the middle class people that are pulling the wagon. They're consistently paying the tax. I mean, my husband will tell you that the top 2% of, no, wait a minute. I'm not going to quote until I ask him because I don't want to, I'm going to get it wrong. I want to get the quote again from him before I say it. Otherwise, I'll be Betty. And I ain't about being Betty. But that's much like the people who get up every day. My husband has had the same job for over 30 years. It is the one job he's had his entire working career. There's not many people that can say that. My husband is the guy who, when he goes to the grocery store, without fail, rain, shine, sleet, snow, kind of like the U.S. Postal Service used to be, my husband takes the cart and he puts it in the corral. It doesn't matter how far away he is from the corral or what the weather is. My husband is a rule follower. We don't cheat on our taxes. My husband wants my itemized deductions. He wants to see them And he wants receipts to accompany. And if I don't have them, we don't take them. So it's the people like us and you that do the right thing, and you go to work every day and you pay your taxes and you don't ask the government for a handout, and you're not wasting resources and counting on the fact that even though what you're doing is immoral and could be possibly subject to civil penalty and or a criminal penalty, well, you know that it isn't going to happen, so you'll just do it anyway, because who fucking cares? It's somebody else's problem. And there you go. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to end this. It's been 3 hours. My God. At least my sciatic nerve is not killing me too badly. I finally figured out I have to get up. As long as I get up, sit down, get up, sit down. Dustin Andrews, she steals my company info about cases. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, welcome. I've never seen your name before, so I think you're new. Not trying to put you on blast, because I can totally understand why you wouldn't want to say what your company is. But if you want to, my sciatic nerve would hold out a little bit longer. Now you got me curious. Steal my company info about cases. So that makes me think, you either might have a media outlet, a real media outlet, or you have some kind of a research business or an archival business. Oh, see, it was my first guess. Wow, that's amazing. An investigative newspaper company. Oh, I may need you to come back and be a panel guest. Would you be interested in that? Because I would love to talk to you, but not on the fly, because I would want to be prepared. I would want to be able to ask you some, intelligent questions. I hope you're not trolling me. Wow, I have 500 investigative journalists around the US. Well, that's amazing. Liza, I figured it was something like that. Yeah, I would love to talk to you, because I mean, I don't know a lot about the media or, freelance or anything like that, but I do know this. I do know, what's the name of your podcast? If you don't mind. I do know this. I know that anybody who cannot pronounce the word hyperbole, who, despite being told by numerous people again and again and again, cannot seem to master the proper use of the word behoove. I don't need to, you are well aware. I do know that is not, no. Like, I can call myself a surgeon, but it's almost like if Betty were to call herself a hairdresser. I mean, it's quite clearly not the case. So I would be fascinated to hear a real media outlet's take on, what are your requirements to be hired on as a journalist, freelance or otherwise. I would I'd be very interested in that. So I'm going to put my email. Oh, actually, okay. I'm going to put my email in the chat. I don't think I have any mods in here right now to do it, so I'm just going to drop it, obviously. Okay, I'm putting my email in the chat. I would love it if you would email me if you would be interested, especially in light of the fact that she takes your work product and who knows, probably uses it as her own. I mean, nothing would surprise me. Wow. How did you find your way in here? I'm just curious. You're flying to Canada today for a trial, then to Florida. Oh, well, Betty's here in Florida. I'm in Florida too, actually. Idaho and then the UK. Oh God, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the email. I put the beginning of it. Actually, I'm gonna make it easier. It's just remember this: the channel name at gmail.com. The one I put in the chat, that's a Proton email, but that's for my other channel. This will be much easier, and you won't even have to worry about screenshotting it. crimesandfashion@gmail.com. And I would love to just chat with you. It's like an interview. We don't have to do it live either. Oh, you're on the company jet. What are they serving for lunch on the company jet? Do the flight attendants? I noticed that this morning. I'm looking, I was like, what the hell is wrong with that earring? And this teardrop got like jacked around. I'm just now getting feeling back in my left earlobe. The Illinois Newspaper Project. Sorry, y'all, I'm just reading. I'm reading the chat. Is the podcast called the Illinois? Dustin, are you there? Are you there? Are you still here? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Podcast is called the Illinois Newspaper. Okay. All right. Well, I would love to talk to you. Oh, this, Liza? I've had this a long time. I think it's actually I think it's Ann Taylor. It's not anything great. Found on all major podcast platforms. I will absolutely check it out. In fact, I'm going to write that down because I will forget. How did you stumble on this channel? I mean, because I'm not a media mogul like Betty. The Illinois Newspaper Podcast. Well, I'm absolutely going to check that out. And crimesandfashion@gmail.com if you'd be interested in, just answering a few questions. If so, I will absolutely put some questions together for you, and we can. Where do you do your podcast? Do you do it here on YouTube? Sorry, I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for Dustin. Amazon. No on Apple, Amazon. You do not do it on. It's not on Apple. All major platforms. Okay, well, did you get my? You got my email, right? It's just the channel name at Gmail, and email me, and we can hopefully set something up to chat. Because I would certainly love to ask some questions. All right, everybody. I've been yammering on for, my God, 3 hours and 20 minutes. You know what's scary is every day it just like goes a little longer. And I think, oh God, come on tonight. Well, what are you podcasting about? I mean, like, what could I do? Per a fast Google search, that company has an open digital library. Impressive. Links to the Illinois University. Who put the crime in true crime? I am going to refrain from answering that question at this moment. Well, Dustin, you email me and we can chat about it. All right. The worst of the worst killers, really. I have a family member who spent a career as he was a Joe Scott Morgan, a legal medical death investigator in a very large jurisdiction. He's picked up victims of some of the worst. Oh God, so Betty must look like a walk in the park, huh? Oh God. Yeah, tell you what, I've been into true crime since, I don't know how old you are, but I'm old as dirt. So I think the first book, I couldn't tell you the first true crime book I ever read, but back, you did email me? Okay, great. Back when I know I was in middle school and there was no Dateline. There was none of that shit. You read a book and you know how that goes. The first thing you would do is go right to the middle of the book. Well, you wouldn't buy a book if it didn't have, it needed to at least have black and white pictures in the center. And if you were real lucky, there would be color pictures. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's very interesting how when I came to YouTube, I thought I was going to be talking about true crime. But I don't know. Somehow I've gotten mired down in the trauma end of it. And it's almost like, I don't know, that, well, the internet is, oh boy, it's just given us such wonderful things like true crime investigators and commentators who are resemble more criminals than they do activists and what are all the bullshit they call themselves. All right. I will definitely check my email, and I'll get back with you. And I hope we can chat. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is rapidly becoming a pastime that, I mean, it's a hobby. I like to do it. And, I always say my husband is thrilled to death because, oh, Des, you're late to the party. You're just in time for me to sign off. I'm sorry. I've been up here like 3.5 hours. Even Lisa has a limit to how much she can talk. And I think I've reached it. Okay, that ding, that was Dustin. I just got your email. So I'm gonna check it on my iPad. I don't like the phone on. I need a full keyboard. So, but I will check it after I walk my dog and get something to eat, and we'll chat. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Dis, don't worry. Mike was back. Mike was back in the building. Mike was pretty behaved today. He didn't say anything too terribly outrageous, and we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. But when I got up this morning, I saw that I missed Jenny Jen. Well, thanks, Dustin. Are you lurked from the bushes? But unfortunately, Dustin, I don't really talk about, the YouTube con grifters won't, like the tragedy pimps, they will not give me a moment's peace to get to the criminals. I'm like, the damn serial killers, I guess I'm going to have to wait. You know what? I'm going to say this one thing before I go, because, it sucks. And it really is. It's an effect of the YouTube tragedy pimp effect, one of many things. For the first time in my life, and I don't know, maybe it's a good thing, I have always, like I said, I am 53 years old. Since I was in middle school, so we're talking, the early 80s, I have been into true crime. I read books because we didn't have anything else. And then, you might get incredibly lucky. Listen, I remember when MTV premiered their first video, okay? So me and the true crime, we go way back. Books to then maybe you got a movie of the week special, and then, cable TV came along, and oh my God, you got the news programs, and and then ID and whatnot. But honestly, I'm really not even, I don't even follow true crime that much anymore. I'm very interested in child welfare, things like that. In fact, if I had things to do over again in my life, I would have been a social worker. I probably wouldn't have been good at it though, because I would have had the heart to fix things and to make things better. But I have a very low bullshit tolerance, and I do not suffer fools. And let's face it, most of the people that get involved in that, listen, I'd get fired, because I'd be the one who would look at them and say, you're a loser. You can't afford the kids you have. You need to get fixed like a dog because you don't need any more kids. And get your shit together. That would be me. So I wouldn't have been good at it. I would have liked to have done it, and that is what I really have an interest in that. And I do actually watch a lot of that. I loved COVID because, my God, I sat around watching. One of my favorites was Centex, Central Texas Child Dependency Court. Judge Sims, love me some Judge Sims. And oh God, what was his name? Not the guardian ad litem. He was the attorney. Mr. Messer, Mr. Messer, if you're out there, sir, you are a man after my own heart. Because he would say shit like I just said. Well, kind of. Not quite as. But look, well, he's pretty salty. Oh no, I don't need it. No, I am going to check my email, I promise. But honestly, it's strange because like right now, I'm just not even following too much. I mean, of course, I see what everybody on here is talking about. Like the Idaho 4 case. I'm not even following it. And it's not because I'm not interested. I'm somewhat interested, but I know that if I get invested in that, and to me, if you are a normal person and not a dirtbag grifter, like all these people I talk about, you have empathy and you get emotionally invested in these cases. You feel for these family members. And I think about suffering this tremendous loss, and then you've got to put up with some ignorant ass dirtbag who knows more about being a criminal than about anything else, apparently, seemingly. And you've got them on your front yard screaming their ass off, yelling at the police, hurry up. Like, because they're, whether or not they can like buy their nightly hot dog from the roller at 7-Eleven for their dinner. No offense to those who like the hot dogs and what are those tequila things? Listen, my husband will fight me on that because he'll tell you that some of the best hot dogs come from 7-Eleven. I'm like, oh God, oh. I mean, that like just scares me to even. But I don't want to I'm standoffish about really diving into any of these things because the grifters are all over it and they're exploiting it and they're putting bullshit information out there. They're playing lawyer. It will just make my blood pressure go up. And there's really nothing. This is a place where it's very easy to get pigeonholed. And I find myself pigeonholed talking about these lowlifes because, I call this my useless talent. I think most people have one. This is mine. It's a hobby. Like, I'm not on here to make money. I'm not on here to try and be famous. I'm just filling a little bit of time. And I mean, it's kind of like evolved, but I thought I would be talking about true crime. Instead, I talk about the present and former criminals from the true crime. Crama would be more accurate. So. Well, no, I wouldn't need anybody else. Yeah, what are those called? Taquitos? Ew. like donuts from 7-Eleven. Meat? No. Nope. No. I don't eat. I want to know who eats that stuff that's floating in those, oh my God, those big, who eats that stuff? Nope. Diane, you are correct. No rest for the weary or the wicked. I guess it's up to you to choose which one you think I am. Actually, I'm neither. I'm not weary, and I'm not wicked. I might have a wicked tongue. But, all right, Dustin, I'm going to check my email. I'm sorry I missed last night. I truly did not even know that it was Wednesday. Hell, half the time I don't have any clue what damn day of the week it is. But I was bummed that I missed Jenny. So, all right. Have a great day, everybody. And until we meet again, be well. This has been Crimes and Fashion, where we talk about some very bad, ignorant ass, oftentimes poorly dressed, and usually mean/crazy AF people while being dressed to kill. Bye, everybody.